guys, Katy Huller here with Kids Can Read and Write, where we believe that all kids can learn to read and write if taught in a way they can understand, in a systematic, explicit way that just walks them through the reading process. So if your child is struggling to read or write, look into the Black Belt Reading Program on either kidscanreadandwrite.com or kidscanonlineacademy.com. But today, I want to talk to you about 5 signs that your child needs help with reading, okay? 5 things that you should really see as red flags. So the first one is, maybe your child reads quite a bit and is reading along, but then gets to a longer word and just kind of blah, 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 and you're not sure if they said the word or not because you're maybe half listening, or even if you're really listening intently, you're just not sure what they said. Well, ask them to reread it and see if they can read the word. A lot of times when they're kind of mumbling over those big words, it's because they don't have any idea how to actually read them. So beware of mumbling through, especially bigger words, names, anything really. So any mumbling, that's a problem. Number 2, miscalling words. Some kids won't mumble through them. They'll just say whatever comes to their mind that kind of looks similar, but they're not saying the right word. Miscalling words is one of the biggest red flags of a reading problem. If your child is looking at words and saying something that's similar, maybe if they see miscalls, they say marshals, or maybe they say just some other word, I don't know, whatever comes to their mind that looks familiar, then you know they're not really reading the words. And slow them down and see when they slow down if they can say miscalls. But if they are just guessing at words through sight word Rolodex kind of reading, well, that's a problem. That means they don't understand the code behind the words. And when they get to words they haven't memorized, well, there's nothing to fall back on, and they don't know how to sound those words out. All right, warning sign number 3, get stuck on words. Now, this kind of goes back to the mumbling and miscalling, but what some kids will do is they'll just stop and they'll try to sound out the word, but because they don't have all the tools they need, they don't know how to sound out the word, and so you hear them just kind of stuck on it. They just don't move on. They just keep trying to sound it out, sound it out, sound it out, or they just freeze like a deer in the headlights, right? So if they're just getting stuck and not able to move forward, that's another big red flag. They need the code. They need to understand how to break up words that they don't know. All right, red flag number 4. If your child refuses to read out loud, maybe you ask your child, hey, do you want to read together? And they refuse to read to you. Well, that's a huge red flag, because usually kids want to do things in front of others that they know they're good at. But if your child knows they're struggling, guess what they're not going to want to do? Show that to you, right? Very few people like others to see when they struggle. Well, kids are no different. They don't want to struggle in front of you. They want you to think highly of them. They want to impress you. They want to see your eyes light up. They don't want to see that look on your face that goes, you don't know how to do this, do you? Right? So a lot of times kids who are struggling will flat out refuse to read to you. And that's a huge red flag. All right, number 5. If your child says they hate reading, well, that's a big red flag. Usually kids don't hate reading unless they don't do it well, or they don't have the vocabulary or background knowledge to understand what they're reading. In any case, that's a huge red flag that they need help. So make sure that you're checking your child. Make sure you're having your child actually read it out loud to you. And if you're noticing any of these problems, well, dig a little deeper and see if it's a true problem or are they just tired that day or whatever. If it's a consistent problem, they're mumbling through words, miscalling words, getting stuck on words, refusing to read out loud, they just flat out hate reading, well, you probably need to go start looking for help. And again, we have the Black Belt Reading Program. If you don't have enough to hire your own personal tutor for a long time to help fix this problem, or you're just a hands-on person and you know you could do it if you just knew how, well, our Black Belt Reading Program is perfect for you. It walks you step by step through the process. It teaches you through videos so you can review them and review them. You can work through the interactive packets, and as you do the work, you'll see your child actually learn how to not just read, but spell, which is huge. So watch the videos with your child, go through the packets with your child, gives you everything you need to help your child go from struggling reader to successful reader. And again, you can find that at kidscanreadandwrite.com or kidscanonlineacademy.com. But if you're seeing these issues, get help. You need to help your child because it doesn't just go away normally. It usually just gets worse. And as it gets worse, kids come home saying they feel stupid, they feel dumb, they just don't want to go to school, their grades start falling, everybody's upset, it causes more tantrums and tears or shutdown. It just leads to a whole bunch of problems. So don't let your kids fall through the cracks. If you need help, go find the Black Belt Reading Program and start getting busy on it today. Because the sooner you start, the sooner you go through the program, the sooner your child's going to feel confident again and excited about reading. I've seen it happen over and over again with the kids I've worked with. I've seen them go from struggling to successful. Many have become great students who love school, and their true intelligence is finally able to shine. So don't let your bright child fall through the cracks. If you're seeing these warning signs, look into the Black Belt Reading Program or give me a call and let me work with your child. Either way, I'm happy to help you in any way that I can. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope to see you on future videos. See you soon.